what I've been reading. A couple episodes ago, episode 219 of the Spun Today Podcast, I broke down watching Roadrunner, the Anthony Bourdain documentary. And in that episode, I broke down a bit of his background and how he became who he was, including an article that he wrote that led to a book deal that became Kitchen Confidential, his bestseller, that catapulted him into the limelight and the rock star chef that he became known for. That article was a New Yorker article written by Anthony Bourdain on April 12th, my birthday, 1999, titled "Don't Eat Before Reading This." And that's what I've been reading. If you're a listener of the show, you know that I am an Anthony Bourdain fan, especially from a writing perspective. He was a deep and masterful storyteller and a thoughtful communicator. And I just wanted to share a couple of excerpts from the article that resonated with me and that I couldn't help hearing in my head in that Anthony Bourdain voiceover from his show Parts Unknown while I was reading it. And the article's great because aside from drawing you in the way Anthony Bourdain does so well, he gives you this behind the scenes raw look at the restaurant life. He shits on it by depicting it warts and all, while simultaneously fiercely defending it and proclaiming his love for it. That's essentially what I got from it anyway, but here's some great takeaways. Quote, "The chef orders his seafood for the weekend on Thursday night. It arrives on Friday morning. He's hoping to sell the bulk of it on Friday and Saturday nights when he knows that the restaurant will be busy. And he'd like to run out of the last few orders by Sunday evening. Many fish purveyors don't deliver on Saturday. So the chances are that the Monday night tuna you want has been kicking around in the kitchen since Friday morning, under God knows what conditions. When the kitchen is in full swing, proper refrigeration is almost non-existent. What with the many openings of the refrigerator door as the cooks rummage frantically during the rush, mingling your tuna with the chicken, the lamb, or the beef." And having been someone that worked in restaurants many years ago, I could definitely attest to all that. This next one's hilarious. He goes, quote, "People who order their meat well done perform a valuable service for those of us in the business who are cost conscious. They pay for the privilege of eating our garbage. In many kitchens, there's a time-honored practice called save for well done." And in that section, he's speaking to like cuts of meat that are veiny and tough and full of ligaments. And those are the ones that get quote unquote saved for well done, which of course are the savages that don't know how to appreciate a medium rare cook of meat. This next one speaks to some restaurant business math. He goes, "In the restaurant business, every item of cut, fabricated, or prepared food should earn at least 3 times the amount it originally cost, if the chef is to make his correct food cost percentage." And I know that's similar to on the bar side, where at least in places that I worked, bottles were at a minimum a 300% markup. And it depends, the fancier the place, the higher the markup. So if you have a $50 bottle of liquor, for example, the cost per drink that is made with that bottle of liquor should add up to at least $200 by the time that bottle is empty. So that's a similar type of mentality in the kitchen side. I love this next one. He's like shitting on brunch and how it's a restaurant owner's way to try to make money. But from the chef's perspective, he says, quote, "Nothing demoralizes an aspiring escoffier," which I had to look up, by the way. It means like French chef, "faster than requiring him to cook egg white omelets or eggs over easy with bacon. You can dress brunch up with all the focaccia, smoked salmon, and caviar in the world, but it's still breakfast." I love how true he is to the quintessential chef and how snooty and arrogant he is towards that kind of thing. I've definitely known a few chefs, and that air of confidence is not something that any of them lack. And I like this line. He goes, quote, "I love the sheer weirdness of the kitchen life. The dreamers, the crackpots, the refugees, and the sociopaths with whom I continue to work." And I'll end it with this last piece. "In America, the professional kitchen is the last refuge of the misfit. It's a place for people with bad pasts to find a new family. It's a haven for foreigners, Ecuadorians, Mexicans, Chinese, Senegalese, Egyptians, Poles. In New York, the main linguistic spice is Spanish. Hey maricón, chupa mis huevos means, roughly, how are you, valued comrade? I hope all is well. Rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain, man. It's a dope article. Like I mentioned before, I will link to it in the episode notes if you want to look it up. It's titled, Don't Eat Before Reading This, written by Anthony Bourdain for The New Yorker on April 12th, 1999.